Hello and welcome to this edition of Minstrels on the Block. This week we have special guest Sharyn Kay Graham. Sharyn?
Hey, Brian.
Good to have you on the show.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So tell me about yourself. Where were you born?
I was born right here in Phoenix City.
Cool.
Just a couple of years ago. Born here, grew up here. I guess when I turned 21, had to get away. So I got married, was gone for about 20 years, got divorced, came back home.
Wow. Now, what did your parents do?
Well, my mom is originally from Louisiana.
Wow.
So she came up here before I was born, obviously, to work, I guess, in the mills or whatnot. And my dad was from here. She met my dad, and here we are.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you come from a musical family?
Yes and no. My mom, I just remember we used to sing all the time. She was like my favorite singer because we just sang going down the... Do you remember the Hitching Post? Are you from here?
I'm from here. I remember seeing the Hitching Post.
Okay, there was a jukebox there. And me and my mom used to really rock out to that jukebox.
Cool.
Yeah, I grew up on a jukebox.
Sweet. So now, what was your earliest interest in pursuing it as any kind of a career?
I have always been the accidental vocalist. I'm serious. I've always loved to sing, but it's just always been a hobby. And I guess when we were just fans, and I would go and we'd find a band that we liked to sing, and there was one at Dale Ranch. It was the Suggs Brothers back in the early 80s. And we went out there, and they just heard me sing, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come sing with us?" And I'm like, "Okay." And there I am.
So basically, from jukebox to there happens to be a stage, and you. So now, your inspirations as far now, you write.
I don't write yet.
You don't write yet.
Finished since yet. I'm praying about that.
Cool. So now, tell me about your, the type of music that you do, that you sing. What made you decide that you wanted to go in that direction?
Again, it was accidental. I had a karaoke company when I moved back here. I had hosted karaoke when I lived in Augusta, had done karaoke. And so when I moved back here, I just wanted to do something. So I started doing that, and I had two nephews that went to church out in Midland. They said, "Sharyn, you need to come and sing for the church." And I'm like, I was still reeling from my divorce. I was mad. I didn't want to. No. God don't want me in His house right now. Trust me. So I was hosting actually to start with out at Naked Poo Barbecue, Lovey's or whatever. So I hosted out there, and then I said, "Well, I want to do this on my own." So I started a karaoke company. I think my first job was over at Durango back here. Mm-hmm. And I started going to church. And, well, no, I'm sorry. My nephew called me. He says, "It's Bring a Friend Day, Sharyn. I really want you to come." I said, "Okay, well, I'll think about it." He said, "No, there's this Bible I really want." And I'm thinking, "Oh, okay, well, I'll help my nephew get this Bible." My nephew was 30 years old and owns a business. He could have bought a Bible. Here I go. So I walk in, and before I get in the church really good, the preacher comes up, and he says, "You're Aunt Sharyn Bug, and I heard you sing at Terry's wedding, at Travis's wedding." And he said, "Can you do, but this is before I even get in the church good." And so he comes back with this stack of CDs, and he wants me to sing that. "Can you learn this by tonight?" And there again, I'm the accidental gospel singer. But it saved my life. I was just in such a dark place at that time, and gospel music it saved my life. Really.
Well, that's cool. Now, as far as where do you play now, or where do you sing?
Wherever I can find a mic. Anybody? I started singing with a group out of Nashville because I was a fan of theirs, and I would travel to Louisiana or Tennessee or wherever to see them sing. And there again, the accidental vocalist. They heard me sing, and they said, "You want to come sing with us?" And I'm like, "Okay." So they're in Nashville, and I'm here, and wherever they go, if I can go, I go with them. We'll go all over the country. It's really fun.
So tell me about some of the travels around the country.
Well, I think my first trip on the road with them, we went to Indiana. Well, they called me and they said, "You want to go to Michigan?" And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's been a long time since I took geography, and I was thinking Michigan was like on the other side of Arkansas. And they didn't tell me that it was near Canada.
Yeah.
And so I get in this little broke down motorhome, and we hit the road, and it's just fun. We play. We have like annual things that they do. Indiana every year. We do Florida every year. In fact, they're in Florida right now.
Now, do you have specific artists that you like to listen to?
I don't really have a style. I do a little bit of everything. I love the old hymns. I like black gospel. I love contemporary. It's just, I don't really have. If anybody said, I need this kind of vocalist, I could go and do it all. I love it all. I love it all.
So tell me about your singing, maybe some of your experiences or singing in the time before you went to gospel. Like, do you have any stories from before?
Yeah.
And what transitioned you from that type of music into gospel music?
Well, like I said, I started singing here at the Dale Ranch, just like a lot of the other locals. Started singing at Dale Ranch when I was 15. And I guess I sang there until the band moved when I was 18, and then I didn't do anything. I got married, moved away, had kids, and I was probably 35 or so.
Yeah.
And somebody wanted to go do karaoke, and I'm not doing karaoke, but I went, and it's like my again, accidental vocalist. I do this karaoke, my first song karaoke, the girl comes up, the little KJ, and she says, we're having a contest, and, the winner gets to go to Las Vegas and compete in the Nationals. And I'm like, okay, I'll enter. What the heck? And so I did, and I won. And so we go out to Las Vegas, and, I'm just not a seasoned singer. I don't, I never really wanted to make a career out of it until now.
Yeah.
But, so I went out there, and out of 100 women from nationwide, I finished 10th, and that was like my first venture back into it. Well, the fire was lit. So then I come back, and it's like karaoke was all I could think. I wanted to go karaoke. Well, then when I did so well out there was a girl. Her name is Dr. Deb Hemingway. She's in Augusta. And she was like my mentor. She's like, you got to get out of the karaoke bars. And I'm like, but I like it. And she's like, well, no. But she was friends with a guy that was managed by James Brown Enterprises.
Wow.
His name was Tony Howard. He was there in Augusta. And she says, I'm going to introduce you to Tony and, see if he can do anything with you. Well, here I am at 35, little white girl. So I go sing with this black show band. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, that's... I was doing that when I moved back here.
And so now, as a vocalist, did you have any? You said that you were not a seasoned vocalist, so you haven't actually had like training. No. As far as she's had training as the kid. Yeah. Well, we'll go to one of her songs, and we'll be right back after this.
America is failing, and she's falling right before our eyes. Let's face the facts and know the truth. America is struggling to survive. America's the greatest, and on her freedom we can all rely. But if we don't stand for God, then I'm afraid that America will die. But if we would change our ways and humble down, then God would heal our land. And if before that old cross we to see. Its people pray and ask the Lord to help the land of the free. Well, they've taken prayer out of our schools, and I, for one, believe kids need to pray. And there are some who say there is no God, and Sunday to them's just another day. If we don't stand for what is right, then all our boys have fought and they've died in vain. And if our fathers served our God, then it looks to me like we could do the same. And if we would change our ways and humble down, then God would heal our land. And if before that old cross we would kneel, then America would stand. And above any other, I love this land, and I'd really like to see its people pray and ask the Lord